Hey guys, George here. Welcome back to the channel. You know what time it is. Today we're going to be opening up something maybe a little bit old. I haven't seen this guy in a while, our Ghastly. So that means we're going to be opening up some Temporal Forces. We got two of these ETBs, obviously. I'm going to put these two against. You see our Roaring Moon right there. We got two of these bad boys as well. We're going to put them up against each other. See how these old of Scarlet and Violet treat us. Again, they're not super old, but they are stuff that we haven't seen in a while. Make sure to stick around and see what we get. Okay guys, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with Paradox Rift, and then we're gonna move on to our Temporal Forces. Why? Because Temporal Forces is after Paradox Rift, so that's how we're gonna do it there. Okay, let's still just one to the front, and our back three, and that's what we get from these guys. And if we get nothing from them, that's what we ended up doing. We wanted to see these guys versus each other, 2 ETBs each. Instead of doing 4 like a big competition, we're just doing 2 versus 2. See if they each get 1, that's fine as well. But we wanted to see how these guys ended up turning out. Got an Armor Rouge there. And again, Roaring Moon's alt is a very nice looking card, so that'd be a nice one to have. Again, just unsleeved or un-PSA, because it did look very nice at least. But here we go with, again, our triple trick. Now we just have to do the back 3, which honestly, I am really preferring that method in comparison to right now taking a break from Prismatic and Black and White, when you had to go through the entire pack. Which we figured out our own mode to do it, so either way, we figured it out how to do it a little bit faster. Right now, just Armor Rouge here in Paradox Rift, so nothing big at the moment, nothing worthwhile to go for. But again, in Temporal, we have both basically our protagonists from each set. You get our Ghastly there, and we can get our Roaring Moon from the other one. But here in these older sets, it's where maybe the ratio wasn't as established. It was a lot harder to get some cards from some of these sets, so we'll see how it turns out, if we had a good ETB or something not that great. There's our code and our 3. We got our Onyx, Zubat, and our Iron Juglius, which is probably what's going to be like, because we're down to 3 packs already and we pulled only an Armor Rouge. So goes to show you possibilities at this point. It probably changed later on, because now it's a little easier to get stuff. And right now in these are older, so maybe it wasn't as possible, because now with our last 2 packs, if we don't get anything, that is below the ratio than what we usually are supposed to be getting. Our technical, speaking of the below the technical, we got our Golisopod alt. Very nice looking card, going straight to the throne. Obviously, our beautiful alt. We got an alt already, guys, in Paradox Rift and ETB. We've had there for a while, so again, it's not a big alt or anything like that, but it does look nice at least. And our last pack, let's see if we get the ratio, our 33%. We'll see how it finishes off here with Remoraid, a Gabite, and a Hollow Golisopod. So that's good, not great. Again, we did get an alt in that ETB, but just 2 hits, with one being a regular EX, the other being an alt, which again, better to get an alt than get nothing, right? There's our code. And now moving on to Temporal. Let's get an alt from there as well. I screwed that one up a little bit. Yeah, we did, but hey, it's just the reboot pod coming out there. Nothing else from there that we missed out, so that's fine. There's that boy. And then we'll pull these 3. See how this one goes. From what I'm seeing, these aren't reprints or anything, because the 3 or the code is still folded up. There's our Iron Hands. Minchino starting good here with an illustration rare, and a cute one at that. Very good so far with these 2 boxes, because again, Minchino and our Cinchino, these guys aren't pretty much cheap. They're not super cheap or anything like that. They're not expensive either, I think, but They're illustration rares that have spiked and lowered and changed in price over the years. Our Dunsparce and our Feraligatr, but right now, that A-Spec ain't doing anything, and our Cinccino, if anything, is beating our EX. Unless we get an EX, then it's trying to go for the special. But we need at least 2 illustration rares to beat a special illustration rare. And right now, our Minccino ain't doing much for that. So there's our code and our 3. Right now, Minccino is also in our black and white openings. If you haven't been looking at that, so make sure to go check those out. Zekrom has also been coming out here, so all these guys are basically being called out for black and white. A lot of them show up there, so make sure to check out our black and white openings if you haven't had a chance. And Whimsicott's the same thing, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of black and white Pokemon here in these sets, so the foreshadowing was there to start us off anyways. There's our code and our 3. We got our Whimsicott and our Koraidon. So EX for EX has taken out each other. Now, if we can pull another illustration, they would be tied, or we would consider that a tie at least. But if not, hey, Paradox Rift will be taking this one. There's our 3 with a Miraidon Hollow. And to finish us off here with our Temporal, see if anything is worthwhile gonna happen here. If not, them's the breaks. We got it, it's fine. We got a Minccino at least. That's pretty good. And yeah, it does. Paradox Rift will be taking it with that special illustration of Golisopod. And second round already, Paradox took the first one. Let's see if we end with a tie or Paradox ended up winning. We'll check out either way or the other. Because again, here we're just doing 2 rounds. If they end up being tied, you guys will be the decisive. You guys will be the deciders of that. But if not, well, you'll see how it ended up turning out. But here we go with our next one. Got our 9 packs again. These are both ETBs, so whatever ended up coming out would have been there anyways. Dottler, a weird illustration rare. Weird in the colors, I think, but weird Pokemon too as well. Just put him back in the back. Our Blipbug, Dottler, and I think it has another one, but it's the Orbeetle, that weird ladybug Pokemon. But another level, 3-level bug evolution. Got our Earthen Vessel right there at least. But 1 illustration rare right now for Paradox. See if we can get anything else worthwhile here, because again, that's not really a nice looking illustration rare, at least in my opinion. Here we got those weird legendaries, the Chi-Yu, Wii-Yu, Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao's not a weird one, but those freaking teeth. I don't know how that guy walks anywhere. But got our Yamask, Galvantula, and Latios. Pretty sure a lot of these are foreshadowing, because that Latios also comes out in Surging Sparks. A lot of foreshadowing with these previous sets happening. There's our 3. Our Tulip, Artillery, and our Aegislash. So another EX there. Illustration rare and EX. See with what we have left, which is 3, a third of the box left to go. If we have anything to show for it. There's our code. And there's our 3. Let's see if anything comes up with our Gargancle. Our Armor Rouge pack. Honestly would have preferred to see a Garchomp here too, but Garchomp is just disiluding us. It's not showing up anywhere. We got our Gibble, Apom, and Brute Bonnet. And our last one, obviously a Garchomp pack here. Let's see if we get anything worthwhile in this guy. There's our code. And there's our 3. Let's see how it turns out. Iron Bundle, Ferrothorn, and a full art. Hey, that's 3 in the box. an illustration, an EX, and a full art. Can't complain there. Let's see how it goes with Temporal. So let's see how this second round goes. Will Temporal bring the heat, or will it stay out of the kitchen? Gotta see. We have the full art, illustration rare, and EX to beat. So it's not impossible, but with our first round, we did only have an EX and illustration. Let's see how this round turns out. Now that there's more to beat, even though we had to beat 2 in the first round, one of them was a special illustration. So it was kind of hard there at the point 2. I forgot we could get Morty's conviction here. We can get Morty's conviction here too, guys. So that's a nice one to get. Obviously, the alt, where we have our Gengar boy. You can also pull the Gengar full art, so that's another good one to get. But again, always the luck of the draw. Oh, Litten. Very nice illustration art to be getting here. This boy is pretty pricey at the moment, I think. There it is on the screen, but a nice one to be getting. Our illustration rare has been taken out. Let's see if we can get the other 2 that we need, an EX and a full art. There's our code. With Raichu, nothing else. And 5 of these boys left. Hopefully get something worthwhile here, because again, the Litten is great, but we need more to be able to go against our Paradox Rift here. Got our Cargo and our Latios again, foreshadowing. These guys apparently, you can't really tell when you're opening, but they do foreshadow a lot apparently. At least that's what I'm thinking. Because again, Surging Sparks Latios showed up there as well. Our Turtonator and our Dunsparce. Last 3. And honestly, everything to go for it. There's nothing else that's come out, just our Litten. Oh, there's our code and our 3 boys here with our Snom, Meryl. EX is our Iron Crown. So now all we need is a full art, guys. Full art from our ETB, and we'll see if it makes anything worthwhile here for Temporal, or it just gave both of them to Paradox. There's our 3. Maxim Belt, which again does nothing for the competition, but it's still an A spec nonetheless, going right there. And our last pack, well, we have some luck here to recover our illustration, our special illustration. We'll see if we can get it or not here in this last one. But we got Nuzleaf, Haunter, and it stays with Paradox Rift. So, to summarize, here are loser Temporal. We got 2 A specs, 2 EXs, and 2 illustration rares. Even though that Litten's very nice, it did end up losing round-wise. We got our 2 EXs here. In Temporal, we did start with the A specs, but here, 2 EXs. Our full arts, our illustration rare, and obviously, from our first ETB, we got our Golisopod, taking the crown there. Special illustration rare, very nice looking card, and basically in his habitat as well. The Wimpod's on top if you compare it to the other card. But that's been the video, guys, and I've been Georgiasaur. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought, and go ahead and share the video as well. Get more people coming, more people joining the community, and seeing the kinds of stuff we're getting. But that's been the video, and I've been Georgiasaur. Hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night whenever you're watching. Peace out.